Ever wondered how Tesla sees a train? It's a bunch of semi-trucks. There's the reality. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me here today. Today we're going to kick off the first leg of a multi-state journey. I'll be traveling across Kansas, Missouri, Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, potentially Colorado. And along the way, we're going to talk about charging, both third-party and Tesla charging. Additionally, we'll cover some FSD information. And then finally, we'll do a little bit of car camping, sleeping in the car. But it's going to be about a month-long trip, and this is the first in a series. So make sure you tune in each week. All right, so I just finished a 220-mile trip. I started with 89% battery, and when I arrived, I had 16% left. I've just plugged into the supercharger in Independence, Missouri. I'm at 17% now. It's on its way back up. But what's pretty amazing about all this is, if we go over here to the graph here, I had 58 or so miles of range left over after going 220 miles, and I started at 89% battery. So pretty impressive, and indicative that the car can indeed do 300 miles of range even on the highway. What's even more exciting about this whole situation is I used full self-driving for the entire trip from St. Louis to Independence, Missouri, and it was absolutely flawless. By speed, I averaged anywhere between 72 miles an hour and 75. Most of the way over here, the speed limit is 70. There's a couple of areas where it's 65, but I'd try to keep it even then up pretty close to at least 70 to try to stick with traffic. But never did I run slow to conserve battery or anything. This car is just absolutely excellent when it comes to the range. This is really a pretty good spot for a supercharger. There's a Bass Pro right here. I've actually charged here a couple of times. But anyway, the ride is so relaxing because the full self-driving does such an excellent job. I just can't get over the fact that the software exists that allows a car to just drive itself while you're sitting here like you're on your sofa. So I'm going to grab a quick bite to eat now, and we'll be back on our way. I'm headed right now to visit some family members. Once I get done with hanging out and visiting some family and friends, I'm going to be headed on out west. I plan to hit some places like Arizona and Utah, and I'm going to be using the full self-driving for probably 99% of that trip. So, but once I get out into some pretty country like Arizona and whatnot, I'll set my cameras up and we'll get a little bit of the trip time to eat. So I was here 7 minutes and the car's telling me I got enough range to go on to my next destination, and that's nuts. I didn't even have a chance to eat my sandwich. So I hung around. I've been here a total of like 13 minutes, and I stayed longer because I wanted to eat lunch. I should arrive at my next destination at 21%, which is way more than I need, but I want to show you something kind of cool while I'm here. So we have all of these superchargers here, and there are 6 stations available right now. But if you look out the window over there, something else that's kind of cool, right over there, is you have these destination chargers. So if you're here to shop at like Bass Pro, or that's Duluth, there's also Stony Creek back over there. If you're here to shop at one of these places, you can use the destination chargers for free. So no slow level 2 charging for me. I'm charged up, I'm ready to go, and I'll be at my next destination, I don't know, hour and a half, couple hours. We'll see. Anyway, got to unplug and get out of here, but I'll be back charging in Emporia. All right, so we just arrived in Emporia, and I want to show you a couple of my stats here before I jump out and plug in. By the way, I've been on the road for a little over 6 hours with only one 13-minute break, and that was for charging. And I think I shared that I really was ready to go after 7 minutes, or the car was ready to go, but I hadn't had a chance to even eat my lunch yet. So anybody that thinks road trips take a long time because of charging, it's really not the case. I used a little bit more energy on this trip this time around because the speed limit was 75. So I've been running about 78, 79, 80 miles an hour, right in that range. And my watt hour per miles, let me show that to you real quick. You can see that I'm at 304 watt hours per mile, whereas before that I was running around 280 or so, I believe. But you can see I've got 69 miles of range left, and I'm at, what, 23%. So let's just take a quick look at the trip meter. So since my last charge, which was a real short little charge, I've covered 123.6 miles, like just under 2 hours, and my average energy was 3.15 watt hours per mile. And I know I've said this before half a dozen times, I gotta sound like a broken record. The route planning, full self-driving, absolutely amazing. I went through Kansas City during rush hour traffic. It was bumper to bumper, and the car was cutting in and out of traffic with no problem. By the way, this charger is right in the parking lot. There's a Tractor Supply right over there. So I've been through here a few times. Usually when I come through here, I'll run in there and use the bathroom and look at some of their stuff while I'm charging. I am going to charge here just a little bit longer to where I'm spending the night tonight. There are DC fast chargers, but they're non-Tesla. Some Tesla reward points that I had. I've got free supercharging for probably the majority of this trip, and this trip's going to be, I would suspect, overall a few thousand miles. So I'm going to try to use this Tesla superchargers as much as I can. I may do some of the DC fast charging down the road in Hutchinson just to check it out. It's in a Chevy dealership, but and I think the company's called EV Connect. But when I look at the cost per watt hour, I want to say it's 59 cents or so, which seems a little steep to me. Anyhow, let me jump out, plug it in. I'm at 23%, so let's see what kind of speed we can get out of this. 100 kilowatts, 126, 147, 162, 180. That's just spectacular. This is the kind of thing you can't get when you go to a regular DC fast charger. It's just, you plug it in and you're just instantly up at like top charging speed. Look at that, 253, 254 kilowatts, 255. Thought the limit on this car was 250. I mean, that's crazy numbers. Those are crazy numbers. By the way, this car is absolutely loaded to the hilt. I am in a 6-week sabbatical, and I have no specific agenda. We're gonna fly by the seat of our pants here. We're gonna do some camping outdoors and some hotel rooms. I will have tent and whatnot set up, but we're gonna be sleeping in the car. So looking forward to it. It should be a good time. I'm going to show you, this car is loaded up. All right, look at this. This thing is loaded up. And then underneath it here, of course, has got even more stuff. So we are fully loaded and ready to have an amazing time. Now, I washed the car before I left home, but it's been raining. Actually, it still looks pretty clean, but it's been raining off and on today, so ooh, look at this. Have my bug magnet going on up here, and look at this. I'm telling you, we are hard loaded. We got every crevice you can imagine packed away. I didn't really pack much at all in the back seats. I got my Tesloid tent back here. Got a Ryobi fan tucked into the back because we are going to the desert. I expect it's going to be somewhat warm, but I've still got tons of room in the car. mean, the rest of this is all empty, and I've got everything except for the kitchen sink in here. So here we go. Oh, look at this. So we've got a Volvo pulling up here. It's going to be used in the Tesla superchargers. And we've got one Model S down there. That Volvo owner's got to be super happy they can use these Tesla superchargers, because around these parts, a lot of the other DC fast charging, it wasn't a good scene. Not too much to choose from, and they were pretty much unreliable. Well, we have just about made it. Got 0.1 mile. Let's see how we do in here. These roads aren't marked super well. Outstanding, fantastic trip. Let's see how we did. We had a little bit higher watt hour per mile. So if you look over here, we're at 50% state of charge. It says we've got a projected 142 miles left. So even though we're a little bit higher this time around, still did quite well. 5.3 mile per hour wind from the south, cost 2.7% this trip. Staying below 70, yeah, we don't care about that. We're not going to stay below 70. Well, from our charge, we went 106 miles, hour and 41 minutes, 3:08 was our average. Trip for our overall trip for the day, we went 451 miles. Average efficiency, 299.7. That is some amazing efficiency right there. So yesterday I headed out on this 459 mile or so trip, and it's a trip that is fully funded by Tesla, and I say that because I have some free supercharger miles that I've used along the way, and I have quite a few more to use. So I'm actually headed out west. I'm going to go to Arizona and Utah, maybe a couple other stops. So I had an opportunity to sleep in the house. I chose to stay in my car and just borrow the shower in the morning. So this doesn't look beautiful, but keep in mind I didn't unload anything. The back of the X is just cavernous back here. So I was able to keep all of my gear, all of my equipment, just slide it off to the side. Velux static insulated mat under here. I've got a single laying under here. Slept like a baby last night. I actually have a test mat for some more of my extended stays that I'll put in the back. It fits the entire back of the car, but that's once I've got the tent set up and move some of the equipment out. Last night I didn't want to go through the work of moving all the equipment out of the car, so again, just kind of slid everything out of the way and left me plenty of room to sleep. I'm ready to go in and grab some coffee, and then I'm going to go out and enjoy the morning. It's about 7 a.m., so I think I'm the only one up right now. So I'm at Midway Motors here in Hutchinson, Kansas, and they have an EV Connect charging station, and I am hooked up to that. And let's see what we're doing here. We're doing 84.3 kilowatts, and this is EV Connect. And the one thing I have to tell you about these cables are absolutely massive. Look at the size of that. I could barely wrestle that thing off of the holder up there. I'm so used to the Tesla cables, which aren't all that thick. These are just absolutely massive, and I'd say this cable is probably 20-30 feet long, but you can see, I mean, it's just a tangled mess down here. But I'm not complaining, because it's really nice having these. This is a pretty small town, maybe about 55,000 people or so, and they've been severely lacking in DC fast charging. So having this one here now, and I think the top speed on this one is 120 kilowatts. Having this right here is super helpful. There's restaurants. There's a Spangles right over there. Right back over there's a Taco Bell, and then right around the corner there's a coffee shop. So you kind of have you know, everything that you need right up here in this area. We are doing 84 kilowatts, which isn't blazingly fast, but again, I think this charger is rated at 120. So considering we're at 46%, and I didn't preheat the battery, I didn't precondition the battery, so I wasn't expecting, you know, super fast speeds this morning. To be honest with you, I'm not too concerned about how fast the speed is, because that's kind of not why I'm here. I've got like all the time in the world this morning, and again, I'm going to plug it in and go out and try to get a little bit of exercise in while it's charging. Just wanted to share with you that there is a charging station here in town, because this has definitely been one of those kind of desolate areas, and it's a place where I have some relatives that I come through here and visit from time to time. So they've been severely lacking in charging, and this is a welcome sight. Here you can see this is the EV Connect phone app, and it says speed of charge 62.458 kilowatts. That's what it's charging at currently. It ran 80, 83, 89, something like that for the majority of the time. We've been here for 29 minutes. So, all right, I'm at 85%. I'm gonna get unplugged here, and we're gonna get on the road. Again, this is a massive cable, incredibly heavy. I'm gonna take that out. Then I got to remember to get my charging cable, or my charging adapter. All right, so I'm not sure that I have the juice to do this one-handed, but we're going to try. There we go. And let's see if we can hang this monster cable back up at least a little bit. Oh. All right, can't forget this. And that's the EV charger in Hutchinson, Kansas at the Chevrolet dealership. Successful charge. So we made it about 450 miles or so today. And if you stuck around this long, I appreciate it. Don't miss the series. Next week, I think we'll be rolling into Sedona, Arizona. Some beautiful country out that way. Until then, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.